Woke up this morning and a ton of Detroit Lions trade rumors was flooding the web, and a ton of articles were talking about it. Why is this the case? Well, the trade deadline's coming up, and a lot of people are speculating regarding the NFL. Hell, we seen a trade last night with the Jets and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Teams are willing to move away from players, and teams are ready to acquire players. So in this video, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about players the Lions could trade away to get some draft capital and or acquire players to help their team out. So we're just going to talk about the latest in these articles. But before we get into today's video, if you think it's a sound and smart idea to ride on a bicycle with no seat, and you enjoy having that metal bar go up your butt, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because we talk all things Detroit Lions news and rumors. And sometimes, being a Lions fan, you feel like you can get rammed. Also, take that like button with you and let that bad boy get pushed. Let's get into today's Lions rumors. Before we get into these specific articles talking about these trade rumors, I got asked in the comment section, Mike, where do you get these articles from? So here's the list of the articles or the websites where I got them from with the articles. Bleacher Report, you got Pro Sports Daily, you got Sideline Report, as well as Fan Nation, All Lions, Lions Wire, and Yardbarker. So if you would like to find them out yourself, just go to those websites. They have them all there, and or go into Google and put in Detroit Lions rumors. Without further ado, let's start with the first one. Right now, well, we've talked about it, that the Panthers are wanting to obviously trade away some players, but according to one of these websites here, that the Carolina Panthers actually turned down a team offering 2 first-round picks for Brian Burns. The Lions are not trading for him. There's no way that's going to happen. The Lions are not that team. The Lions are going to do it. First off, it could be just BS. It could be the Panthers saying that so they get more out of it. But we're not going to trade 2 first-round picks for them. We got the first overall pick right now because of the Lions' record as they sit. And we got the Rams pick. The Lions are not going to be trading 2 first-round picks for an edge rusher. That is ludicrous. If they wanted to go edge, they could just simply draft Will Anderson at this point. And that would be it. I mean, because of where they're sitting at the draft. So that one's not going to happen. I want to dispel that right now. But will the Lions make a trade? Let me know in the comment section. It doesn't mean they have to trade for a player. They could also trade away a player. That's going to be the pinned comment for this video. Will the Detroit Lions make a trade? One of the articles we're talking about 4 players the Detroit Lions could trade away. One player was Evan Brown on this list. I got to say, with all the players that were on this list, this one would piss me off the most. Evan Brown is really important to the Detroit Lions offensive line. First off, he's been starting due to Big V not on the offensive line, and he's been effective. Evan Brown has done a really good job at the right guard position right now. And we've had multiple injuries to this offensive line, one being Frank Ragnow, and if there's other injuries too, Jonah Jackson, who's had that finger injury, he can play center and he can be moved to the left guard and to the right guard. So him being on this list, I think is terrible. I don't think it's actually legitimate. I think it's stupid, and I'm not going to trade Evan Brown. He's too important to this Lions offensive line. If you really want to tank, I guess, that would be one of the players that would piss me off the most, is Evan Brown, because he's so important to this offensive line. Another player that was on the trade candidate was Jamaal Williams, a running back for the Detroit Lions. I'm not even sure what he would fetch. It would have to be 6th or 7th round pick. Now, again, you could have a team like the Jets, who just traded for one for the Jacksonville Jaguars, maybe a team like the Rams, but is that something what they're looking for? Not really. He's not the burst guy. He's not the guy that's going to make the big play in the running game. Yeah, he's got good hands. I know he fumbled at the 1-yard line, but other than that, he's been pretty good throughout his career. He is on the last year of his deal, so I guess it could make sense, but to get a trade for Williams, it would be late a late rounder. And I think that the coaching staff really likes Williams. I don't think that's going to happen because they love that they have for Jamaal Williams. I do believe that Dan Campbell has a special place in his heart for him. So even if a team were to offer a 6th rounder, 7th rounder, I think the Lions would turn it down. Personally, look, I'm all about trading, and I'm willing to trade anybody. And if they were to make that trade and say, hey, we would love to trade for Jamaal Williams, I'd be down for it. I just don't see the Lions doing it, personally. Folks, go ahead and follow me on Twitter at MicroMike85. That is my Twitter handle. And if you would like to get the latest information, quick information, and this is quicker than videos, then go ahead and follow me on Twitter. That's where you can find me. That is the most active platform that I am on social media, is Twitter. So go ahead and follow me on there. Another player on the list was Michael Brockers. You know, he's been on this list for a long time, and, you know, obviously when you get benched last week, it makes you wonder, could the Detroit Lions actually trade Michael Brockers? Now, again, for me, it'd be a conditional 7th-round pick. I'm willing to unload him to anybody. I don't care about the cap hit. I don't care about that stuff. I'm willing to get draft capital at this point, but I don't think it's happening. And an article from Lions Wire specifically talks about this from Jeff Risdon, because this is what Dan Campbell said about Brockers just yesterday. He says, Brockers provides a tremendous amount of leadership to us, and he's helped us in that room multiple areas. And there again, just for where we're at right now, we felt like once we got Kaminsky and Pascal back with where it is, that was the right lineup for us, talking about benching Brockers. But just last week when we talked and communicated with him, he's like, look, I'm all in. He's practicing. He needs more of me. In the meantime, we're going to continue to help these young guys better. He's a pro man. Yeah, we mean you never know. Campbell said, we may need him, or it could be that the lineup of that week. So he's on call. All I can say right now, if the Detroit Lions were to bench, a Kaminsky or a Pascal or an Austin Bryant in favor of a Michael Brockers, I'm going to be very angry, because that would be utterly, utterly ridiculous. So I don't think he's getting traded, but that statement scares me a little bit. It gives me vibes of Kyle Vanden Bosch last year in Detroit with Jim Schwartz just refusing to bench a guy who's ineffective. So that scares me a little bit. But the last person on this list, this specific list here, was DeAndre Swift, potentially being traded. This would be the most ideal, in all honesty, because of his injury history and where we're at as a team. Look, he's effective when he's on the field, but he's not on the field. That's the problem. And I think you could actually fetch maybe a 2nd-round pick for him. I don't think you're going to get a haul like a Christian McCaffrey, but a 2nd-round pick to a team that's really wanting to have a running back to change it. Now, Buffalo was considered a team for Christian McCaffrey. The Rams were a team that tried to trade for Christian McCaffrey. There's other teams as well, for sure, that may be angst in there that you wouldn't know. So if they called up for DeAndre Swift, in all honesty, and they asked for a 2nd-round pick, I'm all for it. I think this is probably the most logical. Will the Lions trade him away? Probably not. This is the Detroit Lions, what we're talking about, for sure. We do have a game coming up on Sunday, and right now the Lions are a 3-point underdog. Go to chatsports.com/LionsBet. That is BetUS. Put in promo code Lions125. You get a 125% deposit bonus. I do not have the Lions covering this. So if you're a team, or if you're trying to make some money, bet that they will not cover. 3 points, I'm shocked. I thought it'd be 7 points or more. This is a great bet to make some money. The Miami Dolphins are high-powered. I think they'll definitely score more. The Lions will not cover. Let's continue on with a player the Lions could trade for. Now, I thought this one was actually an interesting one. This was DaRon Payne. I've talked about this. I think this is before the season even started. I was talking about the Lions should call for DaRon Payne. He was having issues with the Washington Commanders, and the Washington Commanders are booty cheeks right now. So why not make a call for this 6'3", 311-pound defensive tackle. That's what we need help at. Defensive tackle. Right there. And if you look what we have right now, damn, if you put Payne mixed with Pascal Kaminsky, he would take over, obviously, for Levi Onwuzurike, who's out for the season. I think the defensive line would be scary good. And again, he's young. He's 25 years old. You look at his stats this year, it's not too shabby with 8 solo tackles, 3.5 sacks, 0 forced fumbles, 0 interceptions. Again, we're talking about a guy who is a defensive tackle. He's actually produced pretty well. So I would be all for the Lions making the move there, again, at getting a defensive tackle. We do have capital to get it done. And that would be something I'd make a move for. I talked about Derek Brown earlier, I think last week, and I'm all for the Lions getting a defensive tackle for sure. Another player who I didn't even make a graphic for this list, folks. That's how much we're not trading for this guy. So I want to dispel this rumor right now, and that's Mac Jones. Who? Mac Jones. Who? Mac Jones. Bailey Zappe playing in start of Mac Jones yesterday. He got benched on Monday Night Football. And there's no damn way on planet Earth the Detroit Lions are trading for second-year Mac Jones. Look, you're sitting at pick 1. You just take the damn quarterback in the draft. That's what you do. You're not going to trade for a Mac Jones. Or if you didn't want to go there, you can get a quarterback with the second first-round pick who has way more upside than Mac Jones. We don't need another stand-in-the-pocket freaking statue quarterback. Yeah, he could scramble every once in a while. No, it's not happening, folks. This was a bunk rumor I wanted to dispel. I laughed when I seen it. When I woke up in the morning, I said, man, I can't wait to talk about this one. So we're not trading for Mac Jones. That's foolhardy. Go ahead and follow me again on all these social media sites. Lions Nation Unite, MicroMike there. Facebook, MicroMike. Twitter, like I said earlier, at MicroMike85. And Real MicroMike on Instagram. That's where you can find me, folks. You can find me, and I am around. With that said, folks, adios.